working, children simulating it with women in hijabs, just all trying to be counterculture. It can't get any weirder. Total sexualization of children. We're talking about women and men bringing their children to a drag queen festival that looks like a gay parade, which have your parades all day, but everybody's pointed out it's something you don't bring your children to. So that's the next level, ladies and gentlemen. That's the next level of this, coming up with Millie Weaver in studio at the bottom of the hour. And it is a total agenda all over the country and all over the Western world. And it's weirder than hell, because they will also at these events have Muslim Democratic Party leader women wearing hijabs, who then have family members that are known jihadists that write books about not letting women go out without a man, don't let women drive cars, and cut women's genitals off and throw gay people off buildings. So under the guise of tolerance, they're promoting the sexualization of children. And we're going to premiere the footage. Then we're going to post it. It's not posted yet at infowars.com. Now, we've got so much other over-the-top important news. Saudi Arabia scrambles fighter jets amid fears of war in the Middle East. That is escalating. Judge Roy Moore says he will sue the Washington Post and others over what he says are complete and total lies. Well, I don't know if Judge Roy Moore was trying to sexualize 14-year-olds, but we got footage at events all over the world, including Austin, Texas this weekend, where it's men bent over, humping like they're having sex, with kids simulating it right next to them, with women wearing hijabs clapping, and then big old fat men with wigs on pole dancing. And little kids there just in the midst of clearly the early sexualization of children and the fetishizing of involving children in it. It is truly sick. And our crew gets there and, okay, videotape. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, we're streaming live on the internet. Yeah, we've got Facebook showing it all. And little kids giving tips, giving money to the drag queens that dance for them. In fact, I should open the show up. Ladies and gentlemen, we have video of fat men pole dancing and little kids, little girls and little boys giving them dollars. Imagine you go to the local park and there's a guy on the monkey bars in a woman's dress wearing a G-string with his package with glitter on it, leaning over, and then your children are giving them dollars. You would call the police. You would go insane. No one would believe you. It would be so weird. No one would believe you. It would be so weird. Notice the left tried to destroy Ted Cruz because as a Republican once, and there was some other Republican, they went to a burlesque show that was just women scantily dressed but covered up. Pretty classy in my view. Imagine if Ted Cruz went to one with transsexuals, because we've been told, Facebook officially said that's a hate word, even though it was never thought to be a hate word before, so we can't even use the word that they've banned. Again, it's all about the control of language, so you can't even criticize something that's then attached itself to the overall larger agenda. Sparkle shine at story time. St. Louis Post-Dispatch. And then what it is a bunch of little kids being rolled up in front of a bunch of men dressed like women, scantily clad, and being taught this is cool, this is fun, this is neat. That's just a newspaper article you brought in to show me. This is happening in every major city every week. that children are being bombarded. And then people say, oh, you're just being mean. You're just attacking them because they're cross-dressers. No, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care about that. I don't care if they were heterosexuals, cross-dressers, whatever they are. They shouldn't be in there bombarding in an organized program saying the drag queen goes swish, swish, swish. Or you're all going to be drag queens when you grow up. Now, you don't have a scientist or a firefighter or a police officer come and say you're going to be that. No, no, no. We're going to teach you how to be a drag queen. I mean, it's on the audio from the AP piece. And the media always plays dumb and says, because they don't want the alarm bell raised, that we're making this up and just attacking drag queens. I mean, I will say these are hideously ugly men. If they're going to be drag queens, my God, could they just get some that don't look like hell? I mean, I'm allowed to aesthetically say these are really obese people. But again, it's the force feeding of it onto our children. So that's coming up at the bottom of the hour. But when we come back in a few minutes, every few months I see a stabbing attack at the Mall of America by a Somali. And then you always see the police chief say, we love our Somalis. We love our Muslims too. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet. That was actually a quote I saw a few years ago. And then they made a song out of it on Super Deluxe. It's been seen like 40 million times plus. It's one of the most popular songs this year. Kind of blew up in their face when it made folks love us, not hate us. Well, there's been another stabbing at the Mall of America by a Somali. Stabbed two people, they say, for no reason. And we're going to come back and show you actual footage of the Mall of America, what it looked like with the stabbing. That this is during the stabbing, this footage. And the mall is basically 90% Somali now. And that is a government resettlement zone for 40 years. And then the Somalis do not, on average, assimilate. No, they just recreate Somalia right here. So, we love our Somalis. We love our Muslims too. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet. And it just shows where we've gone as a culture and a civilization. Briefly, we are having to end the special that we had on a bunch of products. Most suppressive, most radical Muslim nation in the world where women are sold at slave auctions to this day. And it has the highest murder rate in the world, and women are seen as basically animals. Now, our government, as part of the diversity visa program, has colonized Minnesota with Somalis. And every few days I hear about a Somali stabbing someone or running over someone or shooting someone. Sometimes the police officers in Minnesota, they're Somali, just randomly shoot people. That's been in the news. And it's, I guess, the culture, you could say. Everybody knows about Somalia and the pirates and all the rest of it. So this is being done. They're being brought into the country. And then every time there's a new attack, it just gets shuffled under the rug. What's really going on? But here's the attack. Suspect arrested after stabbing at Mall of America. And then Time Magazine, Newsweek, and others have headlines. Oh, look, Somalis finding their way in America. And it shows them at the swimming pool wearing their hijabs, their full outfits in the pool. And then again, this isn't backwards. This isn't suppressive of women. No, the left says this is good. This is great. And then if you go to a drag queen festival, you'll see 5-year-old kids holding hands with men who wearing nothing but glitter glued to their genitals. But see, now a little girl, a little boy with a man with glitter on his genitals, it's okay because it's liberal. It's not sexualization of children. It's not conditioning everybody. It's not an organized program, which it is. It's just peace and love. And then at the very event we got videotape of this weekend in Austin, there are women in hijabs there clapping. Yay! This is the weirdness that the globalists have engineered, where they love an authoritarian, anti-homosexual religion. And then they integrate it in with women in hijabs that are suppressed and controlled at these bizarre events. And it's just what Matt Bracken talks about, where the Islamists will show up suddenly in mass. The first wave, they adopt your culture. The second wave, suddenly they come out in mass as part of Islam to condition you and to teach you. Let's roll that footage for TV viewers of what was happening in Minnesota. This is the Mall of America. This is yesterday, the same day that there's the stabbing. And this is what's happening. And the camera goes on and on and on so you can see your new Somali majority. And then the other folks, they're not white, they're just Arabs. So the Arabs are the minority at the Mall of America, and the black Northeast Africans, where slavery's still legal. And then here is our new Somali god, Mahad Adradam, 20, is accused of stabbing 2 people at the Mall of America. And there he is. Suspect arrested after stabbing at Mall of America. 20-year-old suspect. Bloomington police said the incident happened Sunday evening in the first floor dressing room. It was on to say the people didn't do anything. On the surveillance camera, he just walks over and starts stabbing them. Police said the first victim was stabbed after he returned to the dressing room and confronted Mahad, whatever his name is, of Minneapolis, who had allegedly attempted to steal his belongings. Oh. A 20-year-old suspect is in custody after 2 men were stabbed at the Mall of America in Minnesota during what police called an interrupted theft. The incident occurred inside the Macy's store. And so you see, that's the culture now, ladies and gentlemen. Robbing, stealing, pirating. What is the main culture of Somalia? Pirating and abandoning. All their neighbors hate them. Sudan won't let them in. Kenya won't let them in. And those are black people that won't let Somalis into their country. Do you know how many people Saudi Arabia allows in from Somalia to come there as refugees? 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 0. Oh, but here, ladies and gentlemen, let's just go to the mall, and it's 90-something% Somalis, and then you catch somebody robbing you, and boy, you're going to get stabbed. Somebody else is going to get stabbed. Can we go out to break with just the last 40 seconds of the song that, again, has been seen over 40 million times? The Alex Jones, Bon Iver piece. So that everybody can just understand and just know what we're dealing with here and how serious this is. I'm not making a joke out of it. It's very, very sad. They made a joke out of it at Super Deluxe. Time Warner did. They took the video, made a joke about it, but now it's become a national anthem against this insanity they're force-feeding us, the cultural death they're force-feeding us. But again, briefly, we are going to end free shipping tomorrow. This is really disturbing footage that Millie Weaver and Gavin Wentz shot at the International Drag Queen Festival here in Austin, Texas this weekend. I want to be clear, the media, every time we cover this stuff, misrepresents that we hate gay people or drag queens. That is not what's happening. I don't care if it's a bunch of heterosexuals, saying in there twerking for children, or homosexuals or whatever. The point is that this is serious sexualization of children. Some of the people there may not get that or understand it, but you've got men twerking for children that give them tips, totally inappropriate. You've got men totally naked except for glitter on their genitalia with little boys and little girls. Scroll down and show TV viewers, folks. I mean, that's just glitter. Some of the footage was so shocking you didn't show it, though they have their own YouTube channels and stream this live. They were proud of this. So this is sexualization of children. If you saw a man at the park that was on a jungle gym naked, if you saw a man at the park who had glitter on his genitalia with a wig on and kids giving him dollars, you'd think you were in the Twilight Zone and call the police. This is crazy how under the guise of art and under the guise of tolerance, this is happening all over the Western world. it's not just that drag queens go into story time. They go, you're going to be a drag queen, aren't you? Swish, swish, swish. Oh, thank you. And then now it's gone to men on their knees simulating sex with little kids running up, simulating it and giving them money. Millie Weaver, what gave you and Gavin the idea to go do this, and what did you think once you got there? Because I've never seen anything this extreme.
Well, we've seen already how there have been children drag queens already coming out in the media, which the LGBTQ community has been promoting. So when we looked into the Austin International Drag Festival, we saw their headliners, and in their headliners, they had a young boy dressed in drag. That's right, you heard me, dressed in drag, and he was one of the performers alongside performers that had the most raunchy, disgusting names you could ever imagine. So we knew that this was going to be something that was going to be inappropriate. It said all ages welcome, children are welcome. So children, the parents brought their children to this show.
And this is conditioning.
They were cursing, their names were raunchy. I don't even know if it's radio friendly to say some of their names, and it was just completely inappropriate. Now, it would be funny if it were just all adults, maybe drinking cocktails and laughing. Oh, it's funny, you know. But that's when you have an adult audience, not when you have children there. And that's the whole problem.
You don't take your daughters or your sons when they're 3 or 4 years old to a strip bar.
Exactly.
You don't do that. And the point is, they know what they're doing. The groups, the organizations you're talking about. The symbols that were there, everything going on. This is Creepville to the max. We're going to come back after break after we played this and analyze it more. But on infowars.com, the video has gone live. It's on Twitter at @RealAlexJones. It's on Facebook. These are people that wanted the media here. They wanted to show you this. They wanted you to see this. They wanted to see men, obese men acting like strippers with young children giving them money. This is what they wanted you to see. So now we're going to show you the true, in-your-face, coming out of this underculture that people talk about the creepiness of the fashion shows, the little boys and little girls dressed a little scantily, okay, or dressed like adults. This is 50 levels more. This is...
Yes. And, you know, some of the drag queens that were participating talked about and bragged about how they do the story time with drag queens. So they are the same drag queens that do the story time readings at these libraries with children. And they were bragging about that, saying, oh, family programming, ha, ha, ha. And they even said in the future, all of your children will be dressing like this. And that was kind of the theme that they wanted to promote, that this is the future.
And a lot of leftists don't want paramilitary groups in the schools training kids like ROTC to wear uniforms, because it is a feeder group into the military. We have to decide whether you want your children in those programs at the school or not. This is force-fed to entire assemblies to confuse the gender, run by the Tavistock Institute out of England that is their MI6 mind control bureau. I mean, look at this one shot right here. Scroll down, please. This is a man with his genitals covered and with a boy dressed as a girl. I mean, this is unbelievable, and we all know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. We all know exactly what it is. This is the exact same type of art and crap getting promoted by Tony Podesta, the brother of John Podesta, who just had his big lobbying firm shut down. Millie?
Well, you know, what's interesting also to know is that the young drag queen boy that was there, his mothers were there alongside him. And it just goes to show that this is what happens. This is the culture. And these children are being overly sexualized. Now, if grown adults...
Camille Paglia has called it sexual abuse. She's a liberal lesbian. It is. You start trying to tell 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds that there's something else and trying to put it in their head and then take them to things that give fat men pole dancing money, shaking their butts in the kids' faces. This is sick.
It is disgusting. You had people there dressed inappropriately. I could never even imagine as a woman wearing what these drag queens were wearing. You had somebody come out with just like a clear, like, mesh-looking top that had just black taped X's over the nipples, giving the children hugs. It was just really disturbing. I couldn't even imagine. I was sitting there trying to be like, okay,
this is total
without it just being completely disturbing to people.
This is total conditioning, and I guarantee you research the headliners and their names, you know what you're going to find at the bottom of it. I mean, this is full-grown men dressed as women seductively dancing for little girls and boys being given money by them. Again, if you saw this driving by the park, what would you do? You'd think an alternate dimension of hell had opened.
And here's the other part here. Here's the other element. The drag queens attracted an audience of what I like to call and what I thought looked like, in my opinion, Johns. You had a bunch of regular-looking dudes there that were totally perving on the drag queens, winking at them, giving them money, giving them kisses on the
cheek. I mean, it's like, look. I've not been to topless bars in years and years, but I've been to them. You see how the guy goes up and gives the money, and how the guys are looking. I mean, it is an incredible scene of a bunch of men with a bunch of little kids dancing around scantily clad, with a bunch of men scantily clad dancing around, and some men with no clothes on but glitter on their genitals.
Exactly.
With children.
You had some
basically naked men with children. And watch, the media is either going to totally ignore this or turn it around.
Exactly. And you had
and who at the Huffington Post and BuzzFeed and places and Salon that promotes pedophilia. What are you doing signing on to all this and covering it up? What is wrong with you people? This isn't tolerance. This is sick. And it's going to bite you all in the butt. You watch.
The LGBTQ community needs to denounce this behavior. They need to stop putting children in this environment and exposing them to mature content, because this is what's going to happen. It's going to actually make it so that people say, well,
Absolutely.
I guess all of it's being abused. Let's throw it all out. When in reality, it's essentially like bringing kids to a mock strip club performance event where you have them all dressed in clothing, but removing some articles of clothing alongside women.
Look, this was one step away. It all had the feeling of a swingers club.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's just stop right there. We're going to go to break, come back with the footage that I don't even want to play. And again, Millie, I think you should put out the stuff that you said you guys didn't put out. I think we need to put out the most hardcore because people just have a right to see this. They need to know. But men with nothing on but flecks of glass, glitter on their genitals, posing with children. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the gay pride parade on PCP with your children in the middle of it, and people saying, be tolerant, be nice, don't restrict us, and it's just the most wanton grab at children's innocence I've ever seen. Because I guess they've probed with the drag queen things we've got from AP, telling kids you're going to be drag queens, and, you know, guys shaking their butts and their faces there, to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, then it becomes a protected group that you can't criticize because of their group, any of their activities. This is the Facebook plan.
Drag queens are saying, oh, we're women, we're depicting women. What is that telling little girls to be like? Should they be role models for little girls, saying this is what women should behave like? I've
decided to fight on this subject. We were told by Facebook last week, and we did record it, and we told them we recorded it. They actually had one of their high-level folks call us and say, we're going to start running stuff by you, and if you don't do what we say and take stuff down yourself, we're banning you. Well, hey, Huckleberry, throw me in that briar patch. And I know what they're going to do with this, because the one thing they said, you will not criticize drag queens, you will not say the word tranny. And I said, I looked up that word. It wasn't derogatory until 2017 when Facebook said it was. So they're now even controlling language. I don't even dislike, you know, I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people that are like that and into that who aren't going after kids. And there are a lot of folks that, you know, like Camille Paglia, that's a lesbian, saying this is child abuse, what's happening, it's an evil agenda, the sexualization, the confusing the genders, it's a targeted program, it's admitted. But that said, they can't hide behind the whole LGBT thing and do things like this. I mean, imagine if a group of men
the other people in the audience, because you could tell a lot of them were bleeding heart liberals, and they were essentially, when they were giving the money, they had this look of pride on their face that they were virtue signaling by supporting and giving money to this drag queen that's been so oppressed.
And now everyone's being tricked into worshiping something, creepy fat men in clown makeup, half naked, shaking their butts in kids' faces. Suddenly, this total debasement of everybody is cool and wonderful. Oh, but they want strip bars shut down because it debases women. No, they want to control women. The left wants to pimp and run women because women are the heart of all civilization. The advertisers know it. Every culture knew it. Islam keeps them locked up. The West does it, and that's why the West is under attack.
And it's disgusting when you would see that those toddlers, those young little beauty queens, kind of being overly sexualized when they have them all done up in makeup. They have false teeth to make it look like they have adult women teeth, thicker hair weaves to make it look like they have more hair like adult women. And then now you're seeing it being done to little boys dressed in drag with full-on drag.
Everybody knew the John Benet Ramsey thing was creepy. This is like 50 levels crazier. I mean, it's the craziest. In fact, we've not shown the footage here on radio and TV, but we're going to start getting to it now. The full footage that's in her piece, I guess there's even more, is on infowars.com. Let's put it on screen. Everyone doesn't want to watch this, but you've got to watch it. You've got to know what's going on in your public schools. You've got to know what's happening in public, what's happening. It's on infowars.com. Drag Queen Festival in Austin promotes early sexual gender confusion. And again, I have fought so hard on this title today until it's become one of these metaphysical things that is nearly impossible to get right. But we're going to get the headline right now, live on air. Put the headline back up for me, please. We're going to do this right now. The headline is Drag Queen Festival in Austin promotes early sexualization of children. Early sexualization of children / gender confusion. My kingdom for a horse, a kingdom for my horse. I have been, it's just funny how things work. Things run so well around here, but once something doesn't work, hell you could just come out of the ground and kill us. I mean, because I have been for 3 hours hammering this headline. Hammering. Let's put it back up, because this is my life's going to be complete once this gets changed. Okay? Because it's Drag Queen Festival in Austin promotes early sexualization of children / gender confusion. Okay, that is the headline for YouTube. That is the headline. That is the headline. Excuse me, go ahead.
Well, you know, the whole lesson from this thing, this experience going to this festival, which was so creepy. The energy there was just so dark, so creepy. I wanted to leave many parts of it just seeing the way that the children would be being exposed to mature content. But the lesson here is that this is a slippery slope. When you start saying, okay, it's okay to bring drag queens into schools and have them do these book story time telling, well, these are the same people that are going and performing at these drag festivals, and now children are being drugged into it. You have children being overly sexualized, watching these drag queens twerking around. They had them like spreading their legs, dance around on these rings.
Woo! We got it. The headline's up there. Let's put it up there. Now again, here is a man humping with his butt in the air.
Yeah, he's like twerking or something.
With children running over, giving him money, and then they're pole dancing men dressed as women with children, and then a woman in a hijab. What about that?
Oh, yeah, that was the weirdest part of all. There was a woman in a hijab there, and she was giving money to the little trans drag queen child. And
you know, under Islam, men having sex with boys is okay. Men with men, they execute you.
That was just very confusing. I couldn't
Look
really
at this.
understand that.
I mean, go back. We've got a man dressed like a woman with his shirt off. I mean, this is just...
And here's the thing here. This particular image that we were watching is a boy who calls himself Lactatia as a drag queen. And they're making fun of, oh, I'm a lactator, Lactatia. And they're making fun of it. And it's like, no, you're not. Okay, no, you're not. And the slap in the face here is they want us to acknowledge them as women. Excuse me, you are not a woman. You do not have to deal with a monthly pain in the butt.
Well, they talk about cultural. They talk about cultural appropriation. We talk about cultural appropriation. This is cultural appropriation, saying you're a woman, but then they tell anybody else, oh, you can't go to Oktoberfest if you're not German, or you can't go to Cinco de Mayo if you're not Mexican, trying to keep us all in our own little groups controlled, but then they literally appropriate the whole deal and then tell you what it is to be a woman.
You're not a womb man. A womb man. A man with a womb, okay? Women have to deal with certain things, certain problems, certain issues. You don't get to choose, you know, whether or not you're going to deal with certain womanly issues, especially your monthly issue there. But these guys that want to dress up as women and say they're women, make a mockery, disrespect women. They want to claim rights of womanhood. They want to claim that they should be able to compete alongside women in women's sports.
Hey, even in the Olympics now, the main winners of the races are men that say they're women.
Exactly.
It's this total freakazoid world where they say we're hateful because we believe there's a male whale, a female whale, a male possum, a female possum. You know, there's a male lizard, a female lizard. I mean, this is a total overthrow of reality, and then saying on the entrance forms, we don't have a right to say male or female because that might hurt somebody else. They have new pronouns for it all. We never got to the video. We played some of the images for TV viewers, but it's on infowars.com. And we did get the headline right, which is awesome. Drag Queen Festival in Austin promotes early sexualization of children. Gender confusion. And we're getting into, to recap what we were just covering, kind of put some bookends on this. I got some of the report earlier. We showed some of it. I've got an AP report we could get to, which showed the gateway to this, you know, where, oh, you're going to be a drag queen. Here's how you're a drag queen. Shake your butt. Again, it's all sexualization of children. It's manipulating them. It's introducing them at a young age to a lifestyle that parents should be able to choose. You know, the argument here is parents were taking their kids to this, and some of them were useful idiots. But, I mean, just the images I mean, how did you handle it when you saw men with nothing on, naked but glitter on their genitals with little boys dressed as girls?
It was disturbing. It was disturbing. I felt sick to my stomach as I'm watching this. And at the same time, I can't help but fear the backlash from the liberal community, LGBT community of, oh, you're hateful, you're hateful. No, this has nothing to do with being against homosexuality.
But see how that gives those folks the moral high ground to dictate to all the gays and lesbians what their politics are, to now we've got men with glitter genitals with small children in public. I mean, what the hell is this? If cops busted in a door and there was a guy like this with a kid, you'd go to jail.
Yeah.
But it's hiding in plain view, so it's like, okay.
And they want to make you feel like you're doing something wrong by criticizing their community, when in reality, the criticism here is that this is inappropriate and mature content that children should not be being exposed
to. And then it keeps expanding. The community, I mean, does the community include NAMBLA?
I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if there were NAMBLA members there. I mean, you had a lot of dudes who looked very kind of turned on watching these drag queens, these men dressed in drag, and then they're watching children as well. And so it was just a really creepy vibe, the entire thing. And kids are watching these little micro-sexual encounters between the adult men and the drag queens, and they're giving them money, and then the kid comes up there and they're getting money from these same men. They're getting money from the same people in the audience. And it's almost like it's grooming kids to become strippers. I mean, that's what I thought when I was watching.
Well, yeah, imagine if people took their kids to a heterosexual event and had them handing money to hot women. It'd be like, dude, this is creepy, man. What are you doing? Women
dancing around provocatively. And
yeah, with tape on their...
With tape on their boobs, and then you have children dancing alongside them, following up their act, and they're still giving money to them. But this is nothing
what you're showing. I mean, there's men hanging upside down with kids giving them money, men on the ground shaking their butts in children's faces. I mean, this is just bizarre.
Well, some of the part that you're seeing here is the explicit language, the bad language that they're talking about, and announcing one of the people here.
Well, that's why I decided not to play this on radio, because I'd reviewed it this morning, but then it clicked. Some of these words I think are FCC violations. Plus, I just can't air this. I just can't even air this.
No, I didn't know what to do after we got this. I'm like, what?
And imagine they'll probably ban these videos on Facebook and YouTube later once we post them, saying it's inappropriate. Well, then how the hell do you got 4-year-old kids there?
Exactly. If it's not appropriate for the radio, how is it appropriate for children? We had little children there. I think I saw a kid around 3 years old dressed in a princess outfit, which you can tell the child was a boy. But I mean,
and this is the parents doing it to him, as Camille Paglia said, a liberal lesbian who is not a child abuser. Hey, I totally get Camille Paglia liking women. If I was a woman, I probably would. I'm a libertarian. The point is, I'd not leave kids alone, man.
Leave them out of it. Leave them out of it. It's too much, too soon. Who knows the ramifications?
And then a boy dressed as a girl being worshipped by a bunch of pot-bellied guys?
Yes.
I mean, wow, this is not good. Hey, Millie Weaver, great job. Gavin Wentz, great job. Let's look at that other footage and get that to the police department. By the way, they've now accused Matt Drudge of being a Russian agent when we come back, so for being associated with InfoWars. Because you